với chương trình ca khúc cùng với Chelsea. Và hôm nay Chelsea mời được vài vị khách mời đến với chương trình. Nhưng mà vì thời gian và vì họ không có nói được tiếng Việt Nam, cho nên hôm nay Chelsea sẽ nói bằng tiếng Mỹ. Và mình sẽ có những cái subtitle phiên dịch ở dưới để cho quý vị nào muốn đọc thêm thì hiểu thêm. Cảm ơn quý vị rất nhiều. Và hôm nay chúng ta sẽ nói về góc khuất của một nhóm non-profit. Hôm nay là thank you so much. Thank you for joining the show. So I was just telling the audience that we will be talking in English and we will have subtitles. So feel free to speak English.
Okay.
So thank you
Great.
again. Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Melissa Locke, and I am the reigning Mrs. California, United States 2025.
My name is Harold Arscott, and I am one of the founding members for Tree of New America.
Thank you. So do you want to talk about Tree of America, or we want to talk about before how Tree of America was established or others, a nonprofit?
Sure, yeah. The story of Mary's Kitchen, and that's where I met you. Okay, so Mary's Kitchen was a nonprofit that existed in the city of Orange from 1984, I think, 84, and eventually had to shut down in 2022. And it was started by a lady named Mary McInerney, who was born in 1903 in Ireland. She lived during World War I as a nurse, a young lady working as a nurse. And after World War I was over, she had a lot of business. So once she cut her teeth, she decided she wanted to leave and come to America. So she came to America at a very young age, landed in New York, worked as a nurse right up until the point in time when she retired. She was 80, in her 80s, I want to say 86. She moved out to Orange, California to retire. And sure enough, when she got here, she ran into, going home from being out for a walk one day at Hart Park, going home, she bumped into a young lady that was eating beans out of a can that was homeless, and thought to herself, you know what, this is America, this won't do. So she involved herself with this young lady and found that she wasn't the only one in Hart Park that was experiencing food insecurity and being homeless. So she called up her friends, one of her friends, Gloria Cease, and said, I need your help. Didn't even tell her what she was going to do, just said, I need your help. Gloria said, I'm there. Showed up at her house, and they ended up going to the grocery stores and buying a bunch of food, and they made soup. They then went out to Hart Park and ladled out soup to people with paper plates and bowls who obviously needed it. What's funny is that at that time there might have only just been a handful of homeless people that were looking forward to seeing her every day, but that grew, and it grew over a very short period of time to where there was maybe 100 or more people in the park homeless, and Gloria, Mary, and a few other of Mary's friends would show up and feed these folks. City of Orange, though, thought that we got to do something about this, and there was a conundrum. First of all, they didn't like the fact that it wasn't that these people were being fed; it was that these people were being fed in Hart Park,
Right.
and they were concerned about these individuals who were homeless being brought into the neighborhood, being drawn into the
Sure.
neighborhood. But they really couldn't go and say, we're the City of Orange, we want to stop this 80-something-year-old lady from feeding the homeless.
Right.
That wouldn't look too good. So they actually came up with the idea, and they approached Mary McInerney in 2003, I think it was. They said, we have a place in Orange. If you like, you can come and we'll provide you with electricity, running water, facilities, and we'll find you a shelter, a portable, and you can use that as a kitchen, and we will let people know they can come here. So that was 2003. Mary McInerney and her friends, Gloria Cease, and a handful of others, they did that for roughly 40 years, right up until 2021 or 2022. Sorry about the dates, but they're within that range. The city at that time had decided that after that run of 40 years, they needed the space to be used for something else.
I see.
So Gloria, now Mary McInerney, sorry, I got my dates a little bit wrong, but Mary McInerney had passed away in 2003 after they had been doing that since 1986 at this location. And when Gloria had taken over the reins of running Mary's Kitchen, she had done it pretty solidly in a way that kind of went into turbocharge, where the numbers that they had coming through every day, twice a day, had doubled and then tripled. So as time had gone by, she had really done a great job at promoting Mary's Kitchen. In 2022, when they were asked to leave, they didn't really know what they were going to do. So Gloria ceased. Mary's Kitchen ended up shutting down after a good 40-year run.
Oh.
But they did reopen up in the city of Anaheim.
Oh, so the twist.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we continue with that, about yourself, Melissa. So what brought you into from a nonprofit and now you're Mrs. California?
So I started off volunteering at Homeless Lunch Ministry, and that's where I met Tree of New America, and I met our president, Jessica. So I was making 600 sack lunches once a month at St. Thomas More, and Tree of New America came in and they started doing some videos, and that's how I met Hal, Eric, and Jessica. And I was very interested in where these sack lunches were going because we made 600.
That's a lot.
So I basically followed the sandwiches, and I went to Mary's Kitchen Pantry, and then I followed the sandwiches onto the streets of Orange County as we distribute them to the streets of Orange County with, let's see, Warriors of Hope was one ministry that we worked with. So that's how I became involved. Yes.
Thank
then
you.
it became my platform really for my pageant.
Right.
So-
My gosh, thank you so much.
Yes.
So when you mentioned about 600 lunch bags, or however you guys put that, it contains what items in there? And then, like you said, who do you guys go? I mean, pass it out or deliver it to? Because 600 is not a small number, and imagine that's a lot of people that needs.
Who wants to answer?
Yes.
I do want to say,
Right.
so they when Eric and I showed up to film, we actually had no idea that they were going to do. We were watching them do 600 lunch. We thought it was a huge number too. You guys did in like half an hour.
40 minutes.
Wow, that's it.
It's an assembly line, and you see how quick we distribute them as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of people in need in Anaheim and Santa Ana. I mean, we left, what was it, 3 hours, and all the lunches were gone.
Yeah.
We went to multiple places. We went to a couple Section 8 housing. We did a couple locations on the street, and we distribute all of them, within a few hours. There's a lot of people in need.
It's sad in today's thinking about it, like
Yeah.
back then we see that. So I'm glad that you guys are here to help provide that for those who need. But the problem is thinking about the number from like 100 something to 600, and eventually it will go up to 1,000, 2,000. I mean, I don't know if there is a way we can cut back, but we're not helping. So who could qualify to get those lunch?
You can have this question.
Sure. Okay. So yes, the numbers are growing. This here in Southern California, we are blessed that all year round it's a nice climate, and we have very fertile farm country, Northern California wise. So we are lucky enough that with businesses and organizations like the Kroger Company, Ralph's, Food for Less, and so on, they pay attention to, they're very good at paying attention to food waste. So in their stores, they have to have rotation. And so what they do is they make sure that even though the food is good, it's got to be rotated for the food that's coming in next. They make sure that food will get to organizations like ours. And from there, we will distribute it. The only way we're able to match the numbers is with organizations like the ones I just mentioned, their help. Their go-to is Feeding America and, bear with me a second, the Second Harvest. It's probably the largest regional pantry. They get the majority of the food that comes from these grocery stores. And then what they do is they immediately get it out to micro pantries that we work with.
Thank you so much. So we need a little break, and when we come back from the break, we'll talk more about how we can help the community and what you guys have been doing. So thank you so much. We'll be right back. Back to this talk show, and again we were just talking about the process of the 600 lunch bags and other things, and while we were on break we were talking about your experience. Would you like to share it with us or the audience?
Yes, absolutely. So what I was saying is that we pack 600 sack lunches. So I was interested in seeing where these sack lunches went. So I went on to follow them to Mary's Kitchen Pantry and then on to the mean streets of Orange County. And I'll let you take over from there.
Sure. So it was a Monday night when we met for the first time, and we were there to actually document the life of a piece of cheese, right? Where it comes from, how it ends up in the sandwich, and then we're going to follow it out to the streets. And you had just said, well, I want to come out and I want to come out with you guys. And at the time, I was just like off the top of my head. But the next day, when the 600 sack lunches come to Mary's Kitchen, and the Tree of New America team's getting ready, we're going to go out there with the Warriors of Hope to distribute the sandwiches. And then comes Melissa. Melissa comes walking in, and I'm ready to do this. But you did have to step outside of your comfort zone because we were going into an environment.
I was so nervous. I was shaking. I was really nervous, and I cried, and then I did something that I thought was a little odd, but sometimes people do this when they're nervous. I smiled a lot, but I felt like I'm not going to, in front of these unhoused homeless people, I need to smile and bring joy with this lunch. That's what I would want if I was in their shoes. I wouldn't want someone crying while looking at me or So I put on a smile, a mask, but I was really nervous, but I was just nervous about the experience because I hadn't done it before. And I pushed through that.
How was it? Your emotion at that time, I mean, it's different. I
kind of had to rein in my emotions. I believe if I were to do it again, I would be a little bit, okay with it. It was just a new experience, but it was eye-opening. It was so important for me to have this experience, for me, gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied, but for me to definitely want my platform to be feeding the unhoused, I had to step out of my comfort zone in order for that to happen.
She was great. Yes, she was scared at first, but again, she had never been in an environment. So what we were doing was riding shotgun with the Warriors of Hope. We were going into communities where you were going to find people with needles in their arms.
Right.
You were going to find women that had been beaten by men.
Oh my gosh!
And everybody was addicted. Everybody was addicted to drugs, and for the most part, society had just said, "That's their problem. We don't want anything to do with them." What we were doing that day was saying, "No, it's not their problem. We're gonna go out there and help them." And so,
we're going to. It was almost like a bridge, right? When you give a sack lunch to someone unhoused, you're telling them, "I love you."
Right.
And then the Warriors of Hope would take that time to pray for them, which I thought was absolutely beautiful.
Do they come to you guys, or you guys come to them?
We went to 3 different locations.
Oh, you guys went to.
And
We go to them, and then they come to us.
Oh.
And then a lot of them want prayers.
Yes, because
I mean-
you're giving hope. You're not just giving a lunch bag, you're giving hope.
They
That-
want prayers. They're welcoming to prayers, and we're not trying to sell prayers. We're trying to create, bridge a gap.
Right.
Bridge a gap with our sack lunches and our prayers, and it was
Are there-
eye opening.
Are there kids or just adults?
mostly adults, almost entirely adults, yes.
But are they mentally
Some
stable?
dogs.
So when individuals fall into bad habits and start
Right.
using drugs, it does cause a deterioration of their faculties,
Right.
and they regress. They become childlike. They lose the ability to their mobility, for example, will degrade. But there's always hunger, and that's what we did. We went out there and helped them. Ironically, so we went out there with the cameras. Melissa, we didn't script this, we didn't plan this, we just did it ad hoc. Melissa, we followed on this journey that day, and we ended up making a 4-series episode around Melissa.
Wow.
But this day, with what we shot, we put together just a little ad hoc documentary. We named it Hope.
No, nice.
Yeah.
It is hope. You're giving, like I said, nowadays you don't know, and then they might have a belief where nobody cares for them anymore, and then now we're coming here to give them that hope, give them care, like you said. You give them something. It's like, I love you, or I care for you. Yeah, it means a lot to them. From an outsider, I'm hearing, I'm like, that's very, very nice, very precious.
We made a 4-part docu-series around
Where can
all
we,
of this.
yeah, do you guys have those for the audience to watch?
Sure.
Absolutely. We have YouTube links, and we just entered it into DOC Los Angeles Documentary Film Festival. So we're excited.
Yeah, so we can have the link below, and then they can just click on the link to see the little document.
So we with Mary's Kitchen in Tree of New America, we went out there as a group. The videos are on the Tree of New America YouTube channel, and we'll provide you with the links and stuff like that. And you can get there from maryskitchen.com and .org, and ours is a .com. But I'll provide that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say too, on the bags they would have. So on the Monday night when we met Melissa, there was about 25
kids.
25 kids, just children.
Yeah.
And they were writing on the bags, "God loves you."
Oh.
And
Yeah, we love you. God loves you, and I didn't realize how meaningful that was. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
that's okay. Go.
But when the people would receive the bag, they would look at they would read it, and they would tear up.
Yeah.
And we would
And
tear
it-
up for them
and
too.
And it really mattered to them.
I can feel your
So
emotion right now. It's hard to cut you too, but
So those kids really contribute a lot, and they're going to become wonderful, empathetic, loving adults that will make a difference as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud of the work that we do.
Yeah. But now, I want to say, in the 4-part docuseries, just want to reiterate, we didn't plan any of it. It just kind of
Right.
happened very organically.
Right.
So it's authentic. For myself, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a student, somebody that would love to be able to say filmmaker one day. I'm just an advocate for food sustainability, a volunteer at Mary's Kitchen Pantry, a founder of Tree of New America. And I have found in this work, I met you, Chelsea, and the other people that I work with, Eric and the other folks, are some of the best people I've ever known.
thank you. And in this segment, we have a few more minutes left, and I know we talked about immigrants. Would you like to share more about that to the audience?
Sure. I'm an immigrant to the United States, and I came to the United States on an H-1B visa, so I understand an awful lot about what's going on in the United States right now. As a foreigner to your shores, I'm just a guest. I am here waiting for another visa. And what kind of helped the Tree of New America get started was Gloria, Mary's Kitchen, recognizing that I was an immigrant. I was looking for something to do while I was waiting for my visa. And one of the tenets with which she operates on was something that Mary McInerney said, which is, you come into this world with nothing, you leave with nothing. It's what you do in between that matters.
Oh,
So,
it's very meaningful.
yeah, and I listened when Gloria said that to me. She was asking, so what are you going to do? You know, I can give you something to do here at Mary's Kitchen. And that's kind of how I started spending time with Gloria and learning about food sustainability, the world of food insecurity, and decided, you know, I could be at the beach every day, or I could do this and see what happens. And look what's happened. So yeah, as an immigrant, that's how I decided to spend my time. But what I've learned over the past little while is that there is a huge immigrant community throughout Southern California, and it doesn't matter what color, creed your skin is, you know, what nationality you were prior to coming to the United States. Hunger is universal. There's a need that's shared amongst everybody. We found our niche with Mary's Kitchen, and we go out to the communities that have transportation barriers. They can't get to Gloria. When she does an event, she'll go out and serve 100 to 200 people in a day. Large immigrant community as well. There's those handfuls of people, 15 to 25 individuals, that can't get to those events. So we'll go to where their community is. And that's how we work with Mary's Kitchen. So we are immigrant orientated. We use this moniker within the Tree of New America. We are the United Colors of the Tree of New America, where we have a mixed bag of colors and creeds and religions.
Thank you so much. You guys are very, very inspiring. I don't know if you, I'm sure you know that, but as I hear the story, it's more stories that you guys are doing so much for the community, and I appreciate that. But like I said, we don't have enough time, and then after this segment, we'll go back and we'll continue on. So we'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, and welcome back to the talk show. And now, since we talked about Mary's Kitchens, and in the beginning of the show, I've talked about we've talked about the Tree of New America. So can you both tell us more about Tree of New America?
Sure.
Well, it is my platform. As I said, I'll be bringing my platform to the national stage in Las Vegas, November 3rd and 4th. So Tree of New America will be with me as well.
So when we met Melissa, we didn't have any idea. I didn't even know she was she's an insider in Hollywood. She does a lot of red carpet events. We had no idea. We just thought she was this wonderful lady that was more than most wanted to help people that were less fortunate.
Right.
So when she came out with us, we had no idea that she had in the back of her mind plans of running for Mrs. California. I didn't know what Mrs. California was, you know. And then we finished that Tuesday of giving out the sandwiches with Warriors of Hope, and she came back another day. And this day, though, we planned to film her at Mary's Kitchen, going to a Mary's Kitchen give out. And then at the end of the video that we shot with her, she announced, I'm going to run for Mrs. California. And
Right.
this is my platform.
Right. Yes. That's exactly what happened. And then I won Mrs. California.
Nice.
And that was exciting. And my platform was feeding the food insecure through food rescue and sustainability. And now I'm bringing it to nationals.
Yeah.
Yes. So for more awareness and exposure and resources and donations and everything, you know, bringing it to the national stage for exposure is going to be amazing.
And we need the help. We've been operating for almost a year now we went from being just an idea that was an art project. As I mentioned, as an immigrant, I have had my challenges here in the United States. And one of those challenges was I had to go through a process and fight for the privilege to want to remain in the United States. And it was a challenge. When I completed that challenge, I wanted to spend my time doing something to occupy my time while I waited for my visa. And I had this idea of building a tree made up of wood that was collected from all over the United States and calling it the Tree of New America. And that the tree would travel around the country and tell stories based around immigration. When we fast forward a little bit to the point in time where I hooked up with Gloria at Mary's Kitchen, we thought, food sustainability was something that was far more immediate. And it just turned out that the two things kind of wove into each other, and the Tree of New America took on a life. But we weren't a nonprofit, we were just an idea. An art project embracing food sustainability. We focused heavily using our talents working with media to promote what Gloria Mary's Kitchen was doing. But what we were discovering was we were finding our lane, our voice. We were discovering our advocacy, and we embraced that. Right. We ended up filing our paperwork to become a nonprofit. We were just in the last 2 weeks recognized as a nonprofit by the IRS with our 1023-EZ form. So we are now ready to open a bank account. We've been doing this all on our own dime, and we've managed. What's happened is Gloria and I had a conversation roughly about this time last year, where she was saying, you guys are doing great helping us with media. I just wish there was something you could do to help us with these onesies and twosies that we can't get to. And it was out of that we became not just an advocate, but we became a facilitator for Gloria Mary's Kitchen, where she could go out and serve 100 to 200 people a day. That 10 to 15 to 25 people a day that couldn't make it to her events, we now would service as the Tree of New America. So we've been doing that since April of this year. And with everything falling in line, with our getting recognized as a 501c3, now getting ready to get a bank account, we have rescued roughly 30,000 pounds of food. Wow. Gotten it to over 550 families, which equates to roughly 2,000 individuals. And we do this 3 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the time, not just including the food, but the time you guys put out. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
Harold works extremely hard.
Well,
Harold works extremely hard. He's the heart of Tree of New America. Eric works hard as well. So does Jessica. So do I. We all have, how we contribute. But he's the part.
I could be at the beach every day wasting my time, or I could be looking at, I came into this world with nothing. I'm going to leave with nothing. It's
contributing.
What I do in between, right?
Right. You're contributing, right.
But it's all of us. It's not just me.
It means more than anything. We talked about the timing. That's a lot of hard work, and then the effort, and then the thoughts you put out to like the food. So normally, do they complain ever, like what food they like or they don't like, or they just take whatever you guys give them?
Oh no, there's a lot of people that have opinions. Yeah, there really are. I forget exactly which location we were, but there was a lady that said that she wanted more vegetables, maybe possibly with a dip. So we kind of, we'll put that in the back of our minds. So yes, no, there's some, but a lot of people are just very happy, to receive these sack lunches. But you did ask what's in them. So there's a sandwich. There's usually a meat and a cheese, turkey and cheese, a ham and cheese. And then there's chips. Then there's a fruit cup. And then there's, I think, sometimes chocolate or candy. And then a bottled water. And then we should put the vegetables in there with the ranch. But that's about all that can fit in those bags.
Right, but that's good enough for...
It's a great lunch.
It's hearty.
I think it's hearty. I think it's great. I mean, they eat it automatically, And so you can tell that they're very hungry and that they very much enjoy it as well, I've noticed.
When we went out on that Tuesday with the Warriors of Hope, the sack lunches that we gave out, people were diving into them right away.
Immediately. Mm-hmm.
And then with what we do at Tree of New America is when we deliver food to the individuals who can't make it to the events, they get, I'm throwing it on you.
Say that again.
So when
He's always quizzing me.
when the Tree of New America goes out and delivers the food at Miraflores and other places, they get the 3 items, right? Like the
Produce,
yes,
dairy,
and protein.
and protein.
We give everybody a box of protein, which is meat, milk, eggs, and some other stuff. They
Right.
get a bag of groceries like
That's very nice.
the vegetables and fruits.
You
And then
wouldn't
a bag
believe
of bakery.
Like food bank.
how much.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's-
it's a food pantry. Right.
Yeah, distributes food.
The food comes from, like I said, it comes off the shelves of Ralph's, Food for Less, more so Ralph's. Ends up at Second Harvest or other pantries. And then with our relationships, we get the pre-boxed, pre-bagged stuff. It literally, between coming off the shelf and to getting to us, is maybe 2 days. And it's still pretty good food.
I have a question. Do many people know about what you guys are doing, or you guys just do it to the people who are in need, or people who are the one who are already on the list? Because after the show, I have a feeling that more people are in need. Because we know, like, nowadays we have food distributions out in the school here and there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. People will come just get whatever they can. They might not like everything, but they can get use of anything they see. So I'm sure a lot of people out there will want more than what there's out there. We have
The need is huge. It's growing.
right.
What we are trying to do, so what we've been doing for the past year, working with Gloria and Mary's Kitchen, is we've been using a little red Saturn with a hatchback, and we'll if you go to the website or the YouTube channel, you'll see pictures of that thing. Is just packed. Stuff is on the roof.
You wouldn't believe how much can fit in there.
And we can get anywhere from enough for 25 families to maybe 28 families, but then that means the passenger seat is stacked, right? So we have arrangements with our partners to double and triple the capacity if we can get another vehicle. And we're working on that. We're working on a larger capacity vehicle. But all of these things takes resources. Now we have been blessed because the people that have come to our table are making resources available. And
Right.
to probably talk about Irvine.
If you want. Sure.
One of the cities in Orange County has approached us and said, "We like what you're doing. Can you do it for us in our city?" And we've said yes. So they're making 2 grants available to us, and that money will help us serve their community. But now we've gone to another city, one that's very close, and we've talked to the council people there and said, "This city's doing this. We don't expect you to do the same thing in your city, but if you could maybe help us with insurance for a year, we can then take what they've got. We'll go to another city and see if they've got some resource. We could put it all into the. I liken it to a bunch of children at a sandbox
Right.
playing. Let's bring our toys to the sandbox and have some fun. That way we can get 3 cities serviced instead of just the one city that we're handling right now."
Thank you so much. Well, we have to take a break, and after the break, we'll continue. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back. Thank you so much. Again, thank you. And we were just talking about the Tree of New America. And I'm sure there's a lot of stories to share with the audience. Is there any stories you guys want to share or anything that I've missed?
There are a lot of stories, but I think Hal has one in particular that he does like to share.
Okay, so
It's made it on our docu-series, so let's go ahead.
when we met Melissa, she
Yes.
was in charge of making 600 sandwiches that night
Yes.
with a group of people. And I'd learned that Melissa lives in Los Angeles,
Right.
in that neck of the woods, and drives out to Irvine on a Monday night
Right.
to do this. When she gets to where it was the St. Thomas More Catholic Church, when she gets there, they have her run out to the grocery stores to pick up what they need to make the sandwiches with. And I can just imagine what that must be like when you approach the deli counter at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Or is it earlier? When do you go there? Like 5?
It just depends. It just depends. But yes, and let me clarify something. I actually live in Orange County, but that day I also live I live in both places, but that day I happened to be traveling back and forth from LA. So anyways, but for people that are watching that are like, wait, I think she lived here. So anyways, but when you go to the cheese section at Ralph's and you say, I want 1,000 slices of cheese, and it's about time for the gentleman to like leave for the day, it's not fun for him. You have to have a very strong forearm too to cut cheese,
1,000
because it's a
pieces.
block of cheese, so you have to cut it. You've got to be strong.
So they're cutting it for you, or is it pre-sliced?
They're cutting it for me from time to time, and that is when they want to quit their job. They're like, this is my last day in the cheese department.
So it's not one time, it's multiple times that they have to cut the cheese?
Every 3 weeks we have to go. There is a cheese person. I was a cheese lady for an extended period of time. I was
got you.
getting a lot of cheese. And my car smells like, cheese for about a week afterwards. It smells like a sandwich, actually. So,
Oh my God.
so just some kind of funny little stories in there. Yes.
It came up in the first video from the footage we shot when we first met her. It comes up, and then in the second video, it comes up again.
It just keeps coming up
Yeah.
that I'm the cheese lady. Yes.
Do they see you in the run? They're like, oh, she's here, I'm gonna run. I'm done for the day.
They probably should. They probably should.
But did they know what you guys were doing, like for the purpose?
I explained it, this
Okay.
is for Homeless Lunch Ministry. We make sack lunches for the unhoused in Orange County. And then they're like, oh, that's wonderful, that's great. But, if I don't say that, they're like,
Right.
it's for a party and I don't want to do this and
Right.
I'm going to quit today. This hurts my forearms. So, yes.
That's nice. So the person
funny.
who's doing the cheese is actually doing some charity work too as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to go out, you have to get it, you have
Yeah.
to buy it and
Shameless plug, Ralph's, right?
right.
Ralph's, yeah.
Ralph's is where we get a lot of our cheese. Yes.
That's very sweet. You see all that? It just, who would think sandwich is just a piece of, a bread and ham, but the cheese, the cutting part,
It's
so it's
kind
a
of funny.
lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. And okay, well, we never talked about how heavy everything is.
right.
You need dollies. Okay, I mean,
right.
you need to put everything and move it from your car to a dolly and then bring it into the church. I mean, it's a lot of heavy lifting.
So usually how many people, like members to help you guys during the event?
I mean, we've had 50 people,
That's
it's
very
like
good number.
it's an assembly line, so we all kind of,
So again, from the film footage we took when we first met her that night, we did put together episode 1 of What It Takes to Care for a Village. It is the 4-part series where Melissa just ended up being the person that we followed around and cobbled together this series. You can see the whole process of, when we meet her to what she's doing, to talking about the cheese, making the sandwiches, they demonstrate, and then you can watch this pile of meat and cheese shrink.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
The documentary is funny. There are some funny parts
Yes.
to it.
Yep.
It's also heartfelt, sad. I mean, there's a lot of parts to our docu-series, but it's very needed.
Different emotions.
Different emotions, yeah. There's a lot that we put into everything. So my husband helps me from time to time as well. So we definitely need him to lift and to help me with everything that I do. And he's actually an immigrant. So, yeah, Hal and him have that in common. He's Chinese, so yes.
Wow. So here's the thing: we don't have enough time for this, like few more minutes. So within this few minutes, like 5 minutes, do you guys have anything you want to talk about? Maybe your dreams or your the future goals or any future plan coming up to help the community or yourself running another level?
Talk about the difficult, like, so after Melissa won the Mrs. California, she's been pulled in so many different directions. And she's been able to meet her commitments with everybody. And, you know, you could talk about that.
How has it changed you? Let's say that from, you know, going to first Mary's Kitchen and a tree of New
America.
Oh my gosh, a Tree of New America. How has that changed the way you're, you know, from learning something new? And then now that you're so open up to go to Ralph's and ask for, can you cut the cheese for me, please?
I mean, the title being Mrs. California, you definitely feel the responsibility of that. Just the responsibility to Tree of New America, the responsibility to giving back and developing my platform nationally. There's a pressure, but pressure is privilege and privilege is pressure. So, you know, I am pulled in several different directions, but my commitment to helping people is, you know, the forefront of being Mrs. California. And yeah, so that's my platform, is my passion, and giving back is what's motivating me.
Thank you, thank you.
I just would like to say that I've had a great time. I've met a lot of incredible people working with Melissa, Eric, Jessica, that could go through a number of names involved with the project. We try to have fun with what we do. When we go to the communities that we serve, we get to know the people. They become our friends, and it's not just somebody that is in need. These are people that we actually are motivated to go and see. But I'm really motivated to, just be a part of what we're doing. Again, working with Melissa, doing what we're doing right now, having a chance to air, to another community, our story. Hopefully drive a little bit of interest.
Thank you. And I have to appreciate, like you said, I mean, the funding. At first, you have to spend anything on your own money. It's not easy at all, and then you're feeding a lot of people, you're helping a lot of people, but yourself, I mean, appreciation helps, but do people know that you're spending on your own dimes or your own money? They think it's nonprofits, you get fund and grants, but in the beginning we don't get fund or grants at all.
Right.
So when we pick up the food and get it to those people who need it, that doesn't cost us anything. Costs that we incur, I've absorbed, Melissa's absorbed, Eric and Jessica, we've all absorbed costs. But because we are looking at seriously doing this for more communities in other cities within Orange County, it is going to take resources, and it won't rely on us for those resources. Resources are being made available, and we're grateful to the partners who have recognized what we're doing, because that tells us that we're doing something right.
Right. Thank you so much.
Can I mention where to follow us?
Of course. So we have 1 minute.
Okay. If you could follow Tree of New America on Instagram and Facebook, Tree of New America, and then of course myself, I am Melissa Locke on Instagram. That would be wonderful. Please follow us and watch my journey, watch our journey. And go ahead and tell the emails and the YouTube and.
I'll plug the YouTube channel. First of all, you can find us on the internet at www.treeofnewamerica.com. We are also on YouTube. Just look for Tree of New America, and when you do get to Instagram, you'll see Melissa, myself. We're on there.
Thank you so much. And the time is coming out. I mean, we're running out of time. And we have like a few seconds left. Would you like to say bye to the audience?
Thank you so much for listening and being a part of this today. This has been really, really fun, and it's wonderful to raise awareness for our cause.
I am so happy to be here to have a chance to speak to the Vietnamese community here in Little Saigon. I love you. Love you all.
Thank you so much again. I appreciate the things that you guys are doing for the community. I mean, not just one community. You guys are spreading out bigger and bigger, and I wish you guys a lot of luck and success in the long run. And good luck on everything, both
Thank
you guys.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
And bye. Hope to see you guys again. Thank you so much for watching the show.